Each of us, each nation, each individual, each race, each gender, has a role to play in this history, and we need to confront it. Not everything that is faced can be changed, but nothing can be changed until it is faced. Beautiful words written by James Baldwin, one of the greatest writers of the 20th century. He was an important voice in the American Civil Rights Movement, and as a gay black man, his work focused mainly on issues related to race, class, and sexuality. Each of us has a role in this history. Baldwin lived in a time where change was rooted in reconciling with the past. I believe, or I imagine, that if he had lived today, in an era defined by technology, he would have tweeted, "Each of us has a role in this future." And it is because of this future we are gathered here today. The kickoff of diverse leaders in tech. A community in building, ready to change the face of technology. Over 150 unique individuals. A diversity of identities, working in an industry that we aim to change partly through those identities, but at the same time realizing that we are so much more than them. Because when it comes to diversity and identity, what you see is just a fraction of what you get. I remember the spring of 1992, when I walked into het Erasmiaans Gymnasium in Rotterdam. A 12-year-old sporty girl with braces and braces, wearing my ripped Peppa jeans my mother hated, and my favorite sneakers. I was anxious and excited to start high school. My soon-to-be principal, Mr. Verdecker, he just saw a weird-looking brown teenager walk into his office. He seemed very apprehensive when my mother and I took a seat. After a quick shake of hands and a short introduction, he didn't waste any time to make his point. This high school is for A students only. B's just won't cut it here. I felt confident and handed over my test results. All straight A's, meneer. He didn't even look at them and went on. We expect high engagement of all our students and a certain kind of behavior here. This is not your average grammar school. Do you know anyone that attends us, Ingrid? I didn't. But my mom, an eccentric power lady, originally from Suriname, who is professionally skilled in dealing with people who underestimate her or any of her loved ones, she did some proper name dropping and told him in what neighborhood we lived. Oh, Kralingen. I love het Kralingse Bos. Suddenly, she also shared what she and my father did for a living. Oh, a psychiatrist and a psychologist. How interesting. His body language changed, his tone of voice became friendly, and from one moment to the other, I was more than welcome to his school. He said he looked forward to seeing me after the summer. Mr. Verdecker saw my face that day, but he didn't see me. He made me feel I did not belong, and that crushed my soul. When I walked out of that office, I didn't want to go to het Erasmiaans Gymnasium anymore. At home, I told my dad what happened. I don't want to change who I am, Daddy, to fit in there. I don't want to become someone who I am not. My father, a contemporary of James Baldwin, an intellectual with a poetic streak, a dark-skinned Bajan American forensic psychiatrist who spoke Dutch with a German accent because he also studied in Heidelberg. A very sweet and wise man. He looked at me for a while, smiled, and said, "Ingrid, become more of who you are, and that will change them." Today, standing here before you, you see Ingrid Tappin, 43 years old, proudly wearing my natural curly hairs. My mom made me replace those ripped jeans for a suit, but I'm still wearing my favorite sneakers. What you get is a lot more than the sum of my identities. What you get is a human being who was born in Barbados, lived in the US until I was 5, was raised in Rotterdam, have the Dutch nationality, and on a day-to-day basis have to explain to people why. Went through a divorce with Jos, the father of our daughter Sophie, before marrying my wife Sabine, with whom I am raising Sophie and her daughter Lotus, together in harmony with their other parents. You get a culture code switcher, whose roots are also Jewish, Chinese, Irish, Surinamese, and to simplify things, is a descendant of enslaved Africans and European plantation owners. You get a young, ambitious female tech entrepreneur who once founded a startup with her wife and failed to scale it, and a successful former corporate consultant who still speaks of we when she talks about Accenture. What you get is what happened to me in that office at my high school, and the experience that Mr. Verdecker wasn't a bad principal at all. Just a man who was used to seeing things through a certain lens and had his own lessons to learn. My parents taught me to be fierce. Don't take shit from anyone, they would say when I needed to learn how to stand up for myself. But their lessons also taught me to become a human being who is used to stepping into many shoes, seeing through many lenses, and always tries to choose compassion over criticism. I am the complexity of all my identities and lived experiences. And this is exactly what Diverse Leaders in Tech is all about. With Diverse Leaders in Tech, TechLeap aims to connect all of who you are in the light of everything we might become. To change what the faces of tech leaders look like, so that we can face what we as tech leaders need to change. We have entered an era of complex transitions, be it the energy crisis, climate change, the food crisis. Tech is and will be part of the solutions we need to build. More than ever will the innovation power of the Netherlands determine if we will be followers or if we will be able to take the lead. The future no longer waits. We need the power of innovation. And that means we need to eliminate groupthink. To innovate, you need fresh new ideas. We can't all be looking through the same lens. To innovate, you need a culture where all kinds of people feel welcomed to join, and workplaces where everyone feels safe enough to share something that might sound like a crazy idea, but might just well be the beginning of an incredible solution. To innovate, we need every bright mind we have, every unique perspective we can find, and every new idea that's waiting to be heard. The power of innovation lies in the power of diversity, equity, and inclusion. All international research shows us that when DEI is done well, companies are 75% more likely to see ideas turn into solutions and products. Companies with ethnically diverse teams are 35% more likely to outperform on profitability. Diverse and inclusive teams are 87% better at making decisions and solving complex problems. 87%. But still, of all tech founders, only 10% is women, representing a huge untapped potential. Only 2% of all venture capital is going to all women-led teams. For women of color, the figures are even worse. I still know too many gay and queer tech professionals who are afraid to be out at work. They don't want to share that they are in a same-sex marriage. While it's proven that these feelings of unsafety reduce their capacity to do their best work, still, every day, Black and brown people, women, men, non-binary people, transgender people, your co-worker with a disability or who is neurodivergent, they are experiencing discrimination and microaggressions on a day-to-day basis in the workplace. For years, we've been talking about the societal and the business case for DEI, but the results of all that talk are still too often disappointing. Unconscious bias training alone is not gonna cut it. A cool social media campaign during International Women's Day, Black History Month, Gay Pride, it's not gonna cut it. If you wanna get fit, just buying those cool new running shoes, it's not going to cut it. You need to set a target, create a plan, and actually start running. The Netherlands needs to become a lot better at data-driven DEI. Unlike the US, the UK, Scandinavia, we are really lagging behind here. Most of the information we have regarding our current state in DEI is anecdotal, keeping us from really understanding what interventions we need to actually make that much-needed progress. We need to move from good intentions to greater impact. We need to make DEI matter more, because what matters gets measured, and what gets measured can be managed. Building this community of different communities offers us the opportunity to elevate you all as role models, collectively help each other thrive, create access to new talent, new networks, and offer you the tools and the strategies that can turn DEI into a true business enabler for all your organizations. Diverse Leaders in Tech wants to put you in the DEI driver's seat. I need you to step into the DEI driver's seat. You, the exceptional, resilient leaders who are used to setting clear ambitions and creating tangible outcomes. By building bridges and breaking bias together, imagine what we can achieve when it comes to diversifying our talent pools, our investment portfolios, but also improving psychological safety and social justice. Listen, we have succeeded in developing self-driving cars on batteries. We have succeeded in extracting energy from water, sun, and wind. We have succeeded in connecting people from the Netherlands, India, Japan, Brazil in just one click. A small team of tech leapers gathered 150 diverse leaders in tech in less than 7 weeks. Imagine, just imagine for one moment what all of us can accomplish in 7 years. When we connect every bright mind we have, create a safe place for every unique perspective we can find, and finally, equal opportunity for every great idea out there that needs to be heard, we can make the unthinkable possible. Stories move and data proves. So my appeal to you today is to share your stories and your experiences and build upon data. A magnificent team of tech leapers and our fabulous partners as Mischief Makers have designed 10 workshops in which we are going to co-create our very first Diverse Leaders in Tech manifesto today. A North Star that is inspiring enough to grow our community and at the same time tangible enough to create real impact in our ecosystem. I hope that after today, DEI in tech is not just about setting intentions anymore, but about wanting to realize outcomes. The road ahead of us, it's steep. We have many mountains to climb and multiple rivers to cross. And we will make mistakes, but we will learn from them, because I believe that we are the best in place to make change happen, as long as we are committed to do so. My high school years were confronting, challenging, but also some of the best years out of my life. From an outlier, I transformed into an insider in every subculture we had in school. My friends were Turkish, Chinese, Surinamese, skaters, hip-hoppers, and Kralingse kakkers. Unconsciously, I made it my mission to help everybody see each other. And in my final year, I organized the graduation trip. Traditionally a privilege only for the white rich kids. But I found a way, and since 1998, it is a tradition. Everyone in the 6th grade is welcome and able to join. Het Erasmiaans Gymnasium was named het zwartste gymnasium van Nederland when I left. And it still is, most culturally diverse grammar school in the Netherlands. Mr. Werdecker was extremely proud when he read that in the newspaper. Each of us, each nation, each individual, each race, each gender has a role to play in our future. Let's make change happen together.